Ladies and gentlemen, you can probably hear a certain background theme right now playing that I'm sure that if you've been in the card game community for the last 24 hours, you might have heard this one already. But Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh's official simulator, official online client for the TCG itself, no Duel Links, no Vanguard Zero type stuff, an actual client for the actual TCG, dropped out of nowhere this morning on the 19th of January, which was a Wednesday. I had my vaccine booster appointment at 11, and I woke up at 9 a.m. and went live on my Switch, downloaded it, and I was like, hold up, this looks awfully generous, right? And then I got back, had lunch, turned on my stream. We've been streaming for over 7 hours right now. And all I can say is, coming from a Vanguard player, like, to tell you my history with Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yu-Gi-Oh is my first card game I properly played, right? I played it as a kid in primary school, and then I got back into it with 5Ds, played Blackwings and Tech Genus, and then after that, I started Vanguard when XCs came out, and I stayed with Vanguard the whole time. But then I would sometimes play on like Dueling Network and like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. I play stuff like Photon. I play stuff like Battling Boxers throughout the Zale era. And then in the Arc 5 era, that's when I got back into playing the physical card game with Yosenju for a little bit, but then I didn't really play it much. And then I built stuff like Luna Lights because I always liked playing anime decks. Like, always, that's why I play Vanguard. I love Vanguard is because I can always build decks of the characters in the anime. And then I didn't really play in the locals or anything. I was just playing with friends like online and like in person. But then in the Vrains era is when actually we got a new locals, a super amazing community, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give the game a proper try and play it somewhat competitively. And I built Trickstars. This was when Link's era just started. I had just come back from Japan as well. And then I basically played Trickstars, then I built Altergeist, and then eventually I built Salamangreat. And then in March 2020, right when the pandemic hit, was the last time that I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? I didn't play it since then. I've forgotten most of my plays, like outside of like decks like Trickstar that I played forever, Trickstar Mech Knight and all that kind of stuff. But so I do have a history with Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm not like someone that dropped the game when they were like in primary and never played it again. So I do have like quite a lot of awareness about what's happened in the game, and I keep up with like the community and stuff. So I hear about the decks that are meta and whatnot, and like all the memes from like the big streamers and like Farfa, etc. But for me, I was excited for this game, but I was very cautious because it was coming from Konami, right? I was very cautious. But when this dropped, I was shook of how good it is. Let's quickly talk about it, right? We got chat with us here. So this is the menu. Now, there's so many things to break down. And the first thing I want to talk about is the shop. Let's go to the shop and talk about one quick thing, right? So the game dropped with a master pack that has like every single card in the game in one pack. So obviously it's really hard to get. And people thought, wait, what the hell? How are you going to get your cards then? The way it works is that when you pull a card from the master pack, it unlocks secret packs that you see down here, which are packs of specific archetypes. So for example, for me, I opened some packs, and then I got myself the Sky Striker / Math Mech pack, and I went in on it, and then I got most stuff that I needed. And the game gives you like 2,500-ish gems to start off on, which of course you can see like 10 packs is like 1,000 gems, right? And then the crazy thing is that like when you pull, if you don't pull an ultra rare in 10 packs, which is the highest rarity, the next 10 packs you open will have an ultra rare. The pity system is literally like if in 0 you open 10 packs, don't get a GR next, or like I guess a triple in this case, next 10 packs you'll definitely get one, right? That's the pity system in this game, right? And that's insane. So you have all of these, like these all last for only 24 hours, but you can reactivate them every single time you pull a card from that archetype, and every single time you craft a card from that archetype, which is also insane. So like you have like so many, like I finished Salamangreats in one day. Like straight up complete, right? So that's already something cool. Then you get these like legacy packs from doing missions and whatnot. They got structure decks for 500 gems. You can already buy full structure decks, right? For both Utopia and for Pendulum right off the bat, right? And that's not the best thing, right? You got accessories and like all these little like cosmetics, right? These don't really matter. This is the part that I want to talk about the most. They dropped these bundles that cost 750 gems, where you get 10 packs plus a staple, right? So this is like, if for Vanguard game they gave us a playset of PGs plus 10 packs for the price of 7.5 packs. You pay the price of 7.5 packs to get 10 packs and a staple, which is insane. And you open these three, you start to get your secret packs and stuff like that to start building up into those archetypes that you're interested in. So when I saw this, I was like, wait, this is way too generous for Konami. Is this game really made by Konami? Like, what the hell? So I was already impressed here. I was like, okay, the pack system is very generous, but what about the crafting, right? We know Duel Links crafting in that game doesn't even exist, right? You gotta trade for that shit. I was like, surely there's no way it's gonna be that good, right? So then I go into the crafting menu. Right? And I was like, okay, so how do you craft cards? So let's, for example, take this card, right? Called by the Grave. Let me remove the chat for just a second here, right? You see that when I dismantle this Called by the Grave, I get 10 of these UR materials. Any card of a certain rarity that I dismantle will give me 10 materials of that rarity. And any card I build of another rarity, I need 30 materials of that rarity to build it. And yes, it is as you think. Once you kill 3 of any rarity, you can craft a card of that rarity. You see these Max C's, these Effect Failures, this Sunlight Wolf, this Access Code, built everything in one day. Literally just by playing the game. Just by playing the game. How is this game this generous? You can literally finish decks for free. These decks cost so much IRL. They cost so much money to build IRL. And that's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so hard to get into. But with this, you can attract players into the game so quickly. And I was just shook. And this is like, and it's so easy to get URs. The pull rate of them in the packs is insanely high. And I was just shook. But it still got better from there. I was like, okay. So you got a cool pack system. You got a cool crafting system too. I was like, all right, that's pretty. You got me interested, right? You got me interested. You got a really low barrier of entry. But then I was like, there's Battle Pass, right? Battle Pass, that's usually how they get you, right? They put some crazy rewards behind it. You got to pay to have it. The Battle Pass can be bought with non-paid gems. There's no such thing as paid gems. There's just gems. The free-to-play gems you get from just playing the game, you can buy the Battle Pass with, which will give you more gems, which will give you more materials to craft URs, the Ultras, which will give you like skins, and this like Pot of Greed companion. I was like, wait, you don't have to pay for the Battle Pass? This is the first time I've ever seen a game that have a Battle Pass that you don't have to pay for. That's already insane. That's already insane. I was like, wait, how is that possible? So it just kept impressing me and impressing me and impressing me. And then there's a solo mode. There's a story mode. One, the tutorial teaches you all the summoning mechanics, and then the story mode gives you various stories of the arc, like the different like archetypes in the game. So like, for example, Gem Knights, right? Or Shiranui, right? This, like, there's so many different ones, like Cleaford. They each have their own story. And they give you decks to play with, pre-made decks to play with, that give you rewards, right? They each have like a path in the story that we can check out over here, right? So you see here, like, you know, you read the scenario, you get some cards. You have a practice duel with the lone deck, you get some materials to unlock other story chapters, right? And then you can duel. If you win with the lone deck, you get the materials to unlock stories. If you win with your own deck, you get cards or gems and stuff like that. For example, in this one, if you clear with a lone deck, you get an avatar. But if you clear with your own pre-built deck, you can get some gems to open more packs and buy more stuff. Like, this story mode is, and there's a lot of it. Look at all of these different stories that you can go through. I just kept being more and more and more impressed. I was like, what's going on? Is this really made by Konami? Is this really made by Konami? For real, for real? I just couldn't believe it. And then on top of everything else, the missions give you gems upon gems upon gems. Logging in for the first 2 days gives you 2,000. And then you keep logging in. Like, bruh, you get more and more and more gems. Keep logging in, get more and more gems. Like, you keep dueling. There's a daily, like what? Just get more and more unlimited missions. You know, you unlock secret packs, get more gems. Like, there's just so much in here. They give so many things. It's incredible, right? So like, I've just been playing throughout today. Like, I've just been playing for like 7 hours today. I've already finished the deck, and there's still so much more to do. There is still so much more to do. And it is just incredible that the game gives you this much. Like, I never expected this from Konami. And like, the gameplay is so smooth. The animations are beautiful. My my computer, when I play Zero and stream Zero off of BlueStacks, my stream lags, or my BlueStacks lags. I can stream this game off of this computer, no lag whatsoever. It's literally running perfectly, no disruptions, no issues. And I can't believe it. I cannot believe how well made this game is. And the best part is, like, this game is available in everything. Mobile is coming out really soon, but it's out on Switch, Xbox, PS4, PC, and it's crossplay. I literally started my account on my Switch, and I transferred it to my PC right after. Just picked up from where I left off. There's no way this game was made by Konami. That's just basically how I feel right now. Like, there is no way. Except for Mac. Yeah, true. It's not on Mac yet, but I hope they add it to the Mac eventually so I can play on my MacBook, because that would be nice. That would be nice. But I'm insanely impressed. All I can tell you right now is I am incredibly impressed by how free to play this is. Like, people are finishing decks day one. Competitive, full power competitive decks day one, taking them to ladder already. Like, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe how generous this game has been. Like, it generally doesn't feel like it's made by Konami. And this is just Yu-Gi-Oh! And the message I kind of want to end off on here is, like, I think I've relayed to you guys how surprising this release was. Just how incredible it was in terms of, like, the generosity, the gameplay, like how easy it is to get into it. The game teaches you everything you need to know as well if you're a new player, or like you're coming back after having not played the game since like the 5Ds era. But most importantly, this game, I think, has set a new standard for digital card games. And I want to also say this, like, I have a special relation with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it was my first card game, and a lot of my friends come from Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? And I feel pretty, it has a special place in my heart. But it's not really a card game that I haven't been in the mood for Yu-Gi-Oh! For 2 years, right? Ever since the pandemic, nothing attracted me about the meta. I wasn't really into it. I wasn't really, like, feeling it. But this grabbed me right back in. And there are other card games, Vanguard in particular, but like Digimon, Pokemon. Pokemon has a client, but it's nowhere near as like easy to use as this. But like Shadowverse and Runeterra are on a similar level of like generosity and like easy to get in, easy to use everything, easy to build decks. But I'm looking at like the other card game companies, like Bushiroad, Bandai, like whoever makes Wicross. Like, there are so many companies that could be doing something like this with their card games, and make it more accessible to their communities and other new people that want to get into their games. This has allowed people that can't afford to play physical Yu-Gi-Oh! To play physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Like with a similar card pool. Like, the one downside is the card pool is different, and the ban list is a world's ban list where it's like between the OCG and TCG. But I think that for card game companies that have online clients that aren't on this level, this is something you gotta step it up, right? This is like, you gotta reach this level because this is a new standard. And for companies that, haven't released one yet, this is what you should be striving for, because from now on, I think anyone will go like, if Konami could do this, why can't you, right? It's like, if Konami could create Master Duel and make it be this amazing on day one, why can't you, right? And so I'm really excited about Master Duel. I've literally spent the entire day today playing. It's about to hit 10 p.m. It's pretty late, but it's crazy. This is the standard now. Like, this is just what I want to see. Like, I want Cardfight Online to be revived, and I want it to be on this level. Because the thing is, like, you don't get to make a lot of money from a card game when you force your player base to feel like they have to spend. Players want to spend on a game like this when they feel happy that the game is this good to them, right? That the game is this generous to them, that the game is this like easy to get into for them. That's when people are like, you know what? I don't mind dropping $30. I don't mind dropping $10, right? Or $5, or like whatever, $50, right? It's not that they need to, but they're like, they get that kind of itch, and they're like, you know what? This game has already given me so much to be happy about. I might as well, right? So that is my first impressions of a Vanguard player of Master Duel. It'd be cool, I'd love to hear the, like, I guess what the thoughts are of people from other card games as well, or like Yu-Gi-Oh players, that what they think of Master Duel as well, from like especially Yu-Gi-Oh players that play the game very actively. I haven't played since March 2020, literally since the pandemic started, and it hasn't really attracted me since until today. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments as well, because I think that this game, it's crazy. You should check it out. You should check it out. It's available on Steam, it's available on Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox. It's gonna be a mobile soon. It's worth it. It's worth it. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about Master Duel. This has been giving me a pretty big smile on my face. This has been very cool. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.